Alright fam, the name is Xander or R. You may notice some things are a little different about my setup, and that's thanks to Owl Crate. You will get an Owl Crate unboxing soon after this video, hopefully. But anyway, I'm actually here to bring you my BookWeb Valentine's TBR. As you can see, maybe from the sign behind me. I wrote it down in my bullet journal, like, a couple of weeks ago, and it looks pretty cool, if I do say so myself. We're just gonna go in the order I have them stacked, which is by size, so it's in no particular order. But I'll tell you the book and the challenges it completes and what those challenges are, because I have the challenges pulled up because I can use my phone, which, by the way, I got a new phone case. It's a Fox. But anyway, first I'm going with Fire from Heaven, which fulfills commitment issues, which is continue or start a series. This is the first series in the Alexander the Great trilogy by Mary Renault, so it's the start of a series. And then it also fulfills the long-term relationship challenge, which is read a book that's been on your TBR for a long time. Now, Fire from Heaven has been on my TBR since like 2015. That's when I think I got this book. So it's been a very hot second, and I still haven't read it. I've tried reading it for like 3 different readathons and I never got to it. So maybe this February we will finally read Fire from Heaven. The next book that I really want to prioritize reading, because not only does it fit a lot of the challenges, but I really want to read it, is An Unkindness of Ghosts by Rivers Solomon. Is it Rivers? It is Rivers. There's an S. So I didn't really tell you what Fire from Heaven was about, but that's about Alexander the Great, okay? An Unkindness of Ghosts is like set in space, but it's like the South, like the pre-Civil War South, so like real bad South. Not that the South isn't bad now, but you know, worse South. And I think it's about like revolution and shit. I'm not gonna read the back because I'm lazy, but that's essentially what it's about. So it fulfills Black Future Month, which is read an Afro-futuristic book. It's kind of a tongue twister. Didn't know that. But yeah, so it's by a Black author about the Black experience set in the future. So Afrofuturism. See, I said it right that time without pausing. Anyway, fulfills that one. Quality Time, which is read a book that looks like it might take you a while. This isn't really that chunky of a book, but I've heard it's very heavy, so I feel like that's why it's gonna take me a while. It's also a book I feel like I don't want to rush through because I really want to like soak up what it's trying to say. So quality time will definitely be spent with this book. Gifts, which is read a book that was gifted to you. And I won this actually from, I think, the Because We Can readathon readathon giveaway. I think so. I think that's where I got this book. I won this book from a giveaway, so it's a gift. I just can't remember which giveaway it was, but I'm pretty sure it was the Because We Can giveaway. I think that's what it was. It also fulfills Opposites Attract, which is read a book in a genre or format that you don't usually read. I don't usually read Afrofuturism, so Opposites Attract. And then it also fulfills First Date, which is a read a new to you author. Now, I have heard a lot about Rivers Solomon. I have not read a book by Rivers Solomon. No, I have not read The Deep yet. I need to. But I'm going to start with this one because I believe this is their first book. One of their first books. I know it came out before The Deep, so I'm going to read this first and then I'll read The Deep. Next is History Is All You Left Me, which completes the love song prompt, which is to read a book that reminds you of your favorite song. Now, don't ask me why, but this reminds me of Saturn by Sleeping at Last. It was really the only book that I could come up with that reminded me of Saturn by Sleeping at Last, which is my favorite song, and I want to get a tattoo of the lyrics of that song. But money is a thing and so is my job, so I can't. But History Is All You Left Me is about, I think, grief. Saturn really isn't about grief. It's about, like, it kind of is, but like one of the lyrics that I want to get a tattoo of is how rare and beautiful it is to even exist, which I feel like this book has, because, yeah, the main character's boyfriend dies in a drowning accident and his universe implodes, and then, you know, it's about him dealing with it and shit like that. But anyway, I can't really explain it that well, but I got Saturn vibes from History Is All You Left Me, so that is why it's on this TBR. Next is The Gravity of Us, which fulfills words of affirmation, which is, it is blurbed by your favorite author. On the back here, Julian Winters says that it is equal parts thoughtful and heartfelt. This book never misses a beat. So let me try and see if I can... There we go. See? Julian Winters, Running with Lions. So, Julian Winters, you can't see his books because they're behind the sign thing, but they're there. Running with Lions is like at the very end of the bookshelf. You can kind of see its tan spine. So, favorite author is blurbed. This was the only book I could find that was blurbed by a favorite author of mine. So, that's why I'm reading it. Oh, and I didn't tell you what it's about. It's about these two guys whose parents are in an astronaut program to Mars, I think, and then they fall in love? Question mark? I'm pretty sure that's what it's about. I know there's gay shit, and I know there's stuff about space, so I think that's what it's about. So the last book I'm going to be reading is the chunkiest book, and it actually fulfills a thing that I didn't write down in my bullet journal, but I just realized it fulfills this challenge. The book is There Will Come a Darkness, and the challenge that I didn't realize it fulfilled is Acts of Service, which is read a book that involves a quest of some sort. I'm pretty sure this involves a quest of some sort. I'm like 90% sure this involves a quest. But it also fulfills the Love Shack prompt, which is to read a book with a house or building of some sort on the cover. As you can see, there's this lovely tower thing. So, that's why it's on my TBR. So, I'm prioritizing An Unkindness of Ghosts and probably Fire from Heaven, since I've had Fire from Heaven for like ever. But I wanted to put a TBR together that wasn't just 2 books. So I made this. It's not all of the challenges, but I get bingos. I think if I read all of them, I'll get an X, which is pretty cool. I'm not going to read all of them though, so I'm probably not going to get an X. But there are action challenges as well, so I will get more bingo things than just the reading prompts. The readathon, by the way, is taking place for the entire month of February, so who knows, maybe I will read all 5 books in February, but I'm not holding my breath. But anyway, that is obviously my entire TBR. I'm gonna give you a fun fact, because I actually have one. This hoodie is brand new. I got it today. I don't think you can see my trans binder underneath it, but the white is super see-through, so I wore my trans binder underneath it because I love wearing my trans binder underneath see-through shirts. Because then it's like, oh wow, trans binder. I don't have any other things that I can think of, so leave me a purple heart emoji, because this is BookWeb Valentines, and purple is my favorite heart emoji, so leave me a purple heart emoji if you've stuck around until the end. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.